Malacañang Press Corps welcomes Bangon Marawi briefing. Today we have Secretary Eduardo del Rosario, Mayor Majul Gandamra, Colonel Antonio Francisco representing Major General Dato in Bienvenido, and Undersecretary Falconi, Millar. Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning. For the updates, the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process spearheaded Duyog Ramadan Alang sa Kalinaw, a solidarity project for those living in transitory sites in Marawi. This aims to provide support to the religious practices of the IDPs in time for the last 10 days of Ramadan amidst the limitations and challenges they are facing at the transitional shelters. Peace activities such as peace conversations, community iftars, Quran reading contest, and Islamic film showing were conducted to reach out to around 1,500 families in Sarimanok, Tent City, Sagunsongan, and Bahay Pag-asa from June 6 to 15. OPAP also facilitated the fourth town hall meeting in Marawi stakeholders at Barangay Kabasaran. Key concerns of IDPs were accordingly discussed. A convergence peace caravan that would include community peace dialogues and gift giving will also be held in some target barangays in Marawi from June 11 to 13. On health and sanitation in Sagunsongan, while the city's rehabilitation is ongoing, the Task Force Bangon Marawi makes sure that the residents of Marawi are in good shape. A health sanitation for Marawi's internally displaced persons was launched in the Biyaya ng Pagbabago transitional site in Barangay Sagunsongan on May 29. The health facility has been constructed in Area 2 of the site through the funding of the Marawi Local Government Unit. Manpower and logistics for its operations are being made possible through the collaboration of Marawi City Health Office, Department of Health, and the non-government organizations. A doctor, a nurse, and 2 midwives are assigned here to provide services to the patients. This health station will also be able to accommodate the residents of 3 adjacent barangays. Moreover, IDPs in evacuation and transitional sites also continue to receive health services. The Department of Health augmentation teams hired local health workers who can speak Maranao in order to address the language barrier and facilitate more effective consultations and interventions among the internally displaced persons. On hygiene promotions for IDPs, the Marawi City Health Office, together with the non-government organization Action Against Hunger, recently conducted a hygiene promotion activity for the internally displaced persons at Sarimanok, 10 City, Site 1. Proper hand washing and food preparation were among the topics discussed. More health and sanitation activities for the internally displaced persons will be conducted in order to actively prevent waterborne diseases like diarrhea, cholera, and dysentery. On home-based IDPs donations, on relief, 423 home-based internally displaced families from the most affected area of Marawi City who are temporarily residing in Barangay del Carmen, Iligan City received 50 kilograms of rice each through the partnership of the World Food Program, Marawi City Government, Department of Social Welfare and Development, Task Force Bangon Marawi, and Barangay Local Government Unit of Del Carmen. More barangays with high concentration of home IDPs from MAA are expected to receive rice donations in the following days as the coordinating agencies understand the need for assistance. 37,798 internally displaced families are currently home-based in Region 10 and ARMM. 1,072 families are in 37 evacuation centers, 10 evacuation centers in Region 10 and 27 in ARMM. On Islamic relief worldwide, meanwhile, more than 1,400 families in Barangay Bito, Buwadi, Itowa, Buganga, and Sarimanok, 10 City received Ramadan food packs from Islamic Relief Worldwide Philippines last May 31. Each food pack contains 15 kilos of rice, 2 liters of cooking oil, half a kilo each of mongo beans and iodized salt, and 3 cans each of sardines and corned beef, all of which are halal certified. On opening of classes in Marawi, and on education, classes in Marawi started on June 4. Over 14,000 students are currently enrolled in more than 30 primary and secondary public schools in Marawi City for the school year 2018-2019. There are 47 schools outside the most affected area, but some schools that are too close to each other were merged by the Department of Education instead in order to maximize the resources and manpower. On UN Habitat to build 1,500 permanent housing, 1,500 permanent housing units for Marawi's internally displaced persons will be built by United Nations Human Settlements Program, UN Habitat. On May 24, the Marawi City Government, Socialized Housing Finance Corporation, Government of Japan, and UN Habitat signed a Memorandum of Understanding in support of the rehabilitation process of Marawi City. Residents of Marawi formerly living in danger zones of the city will be prioritized in the said housing program. To help establish the livelihood of farming families in Marawi, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations distributed broiler production packages on May 24 during the Marawi Week of Peace. Farmer residents from Barangay Lumbaka, Turos, Poana, Marantao, Pintolan, Tuca, Amito, Marantao, Dayawan, Bacolod, Chico, and Turos benefited from these interventions. On Ramadan Trade Fair, the Department of Trade and Industry, Lanao del Sur, also opened the Ramadan Trade Fair at the People's Park, Marawi City, in partnership with the Provincial Government of Lanao del Sur through its Technology and Livelihood Development Center and Negosyo Center. 35 exhibitors participated in the said trade fair, wherein different Maranao products such as palapa, kalawag, malong, and others are being sold. The trade fair will run until June 10 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's all for my updates. I now give the floor to the Action Man, TFBM Chairman, Secretary Eduardo del Rosario.
Thank you very much, Ace, and to my co-panelists, good morning. Mayor Mahul Gandamra, Colonel Francisco of CRS. For a start, we would like to give you a video presentation of some of the accomplishments of Task Force Bangon Marawi. Our presentation, please.
Task Force Bangon Marawi leads the comprehensive and integrated rehabilitation of Marawi City and the surrounding areas to rebuild communities left devastated by the Marawi siege. Task Force Bangon Marawi was formed in June of 2017 in coordination with the Marawi City Government, the Provincial Government, and ARMM. The task force improved access to basic services, created economic opportunities, strengthened capacities to help 353,636 displaced persons. By May 31, 2018, some IDPs from evacuation centers and home-based IDPs have either returned home or moved to transitory shelters. From April to May 2018, the task force provided support in 5 areas. Reconstruction, continued construction of main roads and pathways, including site development of more shelter areas. Housing. Task Force Bangon Marawi continues to provide for IDP families. About 98% of electricity restored in the Sagonsongan transitory site. 916 homes completed and 772 homes are now occupied. Assisted 311 families settled in Sari Manok. In the next quarter, 1,500 homes will be built in another barangay. Task Force Bangon Marawi continues to protect the welfare and well-being of families so they can begin to lead lives of normalcy. Task Force Bangon Marawi also helped families return home, including 542 IDPs under the Balik Probinsya program. Task Force Bangon Marawi also completed the Kambisita program. Task Force Bangon Marawi also promoted social healing in its first Marawi Week of Peace activities. The task force promoted entrepreneurial support and helped 120 IDPs start businesses. Security, peace, and order. Task Force Bangon Marawi established rule of law and secured communities. While these service deliveries improved socio-economic recovery, TFBM's land resource management led research and assessments, including surveys of more relocation sites to house displaced families. TFBM efforts were also reinforced by the Information Management and Strategic Communications, Finance and Resource Mobilization, and legal groups, so the task force can strategically implement comprehensive and well-coordinated recovery efforts that respond to the priority needs, aspirations, religion, and customs of the people of Marawi. In 2018, TFBM will continue to lead the long road to recovery and rehabilitation through programs and projects that will continue to be guided by consultations with the people of Marawi, that will build a stronger Marawi and Lanao del Sur that is full of economic opportunities, open to all ethnic and religious groups, and closed to violent extremism.
I will see to it that Marawi will rise as a prosperous city again.
Those are the latest accomplishments of Task Force Bangon Marawi.
Can we have Mayor Gandamra? You have any statements, sir?
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat at kami po ay handa sa inyong mga katanungan and the updates were given by Secretary Yusik Millar.
Colonel Antonio Francisco?
Yusik Del Sar, sir. All the gentlemen, gentle ladies around. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I am Colonel Antonio Francisco, the Deputy Commander of Civil Relations Service, Armed Forces of the Philippines, and I am representing Major General Bienvenido Datuin in his capacity as the head of the AFP Task Force Bangon Marawi. We have the following subcommittees: Security, Peace and Order, Land Resource Management, and Reconstruction. Sir, I will just be giving you some updates from General Datuin. Next slide, please. For the Security, Peace and Order, the Joint Task Force Ranao is composed of 1 brigade, 5 battalions, and 1 company. It is deployed at different areas of Lanao del Sur as shown. Back please. Kindly click. Next slide, please. Okay, the requested amount of 83 million was approved by the Chairman, Task Force Bangon Marawi, for endorsement to the President. The breakdown is as shown. For the land resource management, an amount of 38.8 million for surveying the Camp Ranao was approved, and the details are as shown. Further, the 51.3 million tendered for the purchase of land for a military camp was approved. It is now at the Office of the President. And just yesterday, a 3-day subcommittee workshop on budget planning was held at Cagayan de Oro City from 05 to 07 June 2018. The workshop was spearheaded by the DNR as the lead agency. Again, for the reconstruction, the Joint Task Force Builder is composed of 3 engineering battalions and 1 EOD company. It is deployed at different areas of Lanao del Sur. The fund requirement in the amount of 206.9 million to support ground clearing operation of the most affected areas was disapproved for the reason that clearing can be done by private contractors. Still, for the reconstruction, 80% of the Lanao del Sur area was cleared of exploded ordnance except for the Sector 1, which is ongoing right now, and the area status is as shown. The total recoveries from 13 February 18 to date. The details is as shown. Next slide, please. That will be the end of my presentation, sir. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat.
MPC, you have questions? Marisa Lalili, TV5.
Before that, maybe you would like to know what will be the outcome of the development of the most affected area. We have a very short video presentation of the development plan so that the public and the media can see the vision of Task Force Bangon Marawi in tandem with our developers. So can we have a video presentation of the development plan of Marawi City?
Mr. Chair, while the video is being loaded, as the observance of Ramadan continues, the Task Force Bangon Marawi supports the efforts of the religious leaders and local government units in promoting peace and social healing of our Maranao brothers and sisters. Maybe we could watch the video first for the observance of Ramadan.
Sa pagkikipagtulungan ng National Commission on Muslim Filipinos o NCMF sa Marawi City Ulama Council at Lanao del Sur Provincial Ulama Council, isinusulong sa mga isinasagawang kutba o sermon kada Biyernes ng mga Muslim ang pagtama ng mga masamang ugali at maling gawain ng mga tao. Sa isang kutba na isinagawa sa Saduk Grand Mosque, ipinaliwanag ni Alim Abdul Karim Siddiq ang kahalagahan ng pagtama sa mga maling gawain ng mga Muslim ngayong buwan ng Ramadan. Ayon sa kanya,
na yung karakter, mga ugali sa mga tao dapat na i-repair. Yung nangyari dito, sa Marawi, pwede related sa yung sa mga ugali ng mga tao. Hindi sila mga nakaintindihan, marami mga ginagawa, di nakayon sa tunod na Islam. Dumating yung Ramadan, ito ang dapat na i-repair niya yung mga ugali ng mga tao.
Nanawagan naman si Regional Director ng NCMF Lanao Area B, Alikhan Taib, na maging mapagpasensya ang mga tao sa isinasagawang rehabilitasyon sa Marawi. Ayon sa kanya,
sa mga kapatid namin na nandito ngayon sa Marawi na bumalik, kami po nananawagan sa inyo na sana palakasin natin yung simba natin sa Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Ang nangyari po ay nangyari na. So kailangan po natin ngayon mag-united tayo at saka be patient sa nangyari at saka we will wait for the program of the government through the Task Force Bangon Marawi.
Kasabay ng pagdiriwang ng Marawi Week of Peace na pinangunahan ng Task Force Bangon Marawi, pinangunahan rin ng NCMF ang pag-ere ng Islamic Hour Radio Program kung saan ipinapaliwanag ang importansya at benepisyo ng pag-obserba sa buwan ng Ramadan at itinuturo ang mga paraan ng tamang pagsamba. Sa tulong rin ng mga isinasagawang kutba o sermon at information and education campaign ay isinusulong ang advokasya sa kapayapaan. Nakipagtulungan rin ng NCMF sa Philippine Information Agency, Marawi Islamic Affairs at lokal na pamahalaan ng Marawi City sa isinagawang Quran Reading Contest. Pinangunahan rin ng NCMF ang pagsagawa ng Azan o Call to Prayer Contest noong Marawi Week of Peace at nagtayo ng booth para sa pag-issue ng mga Certificate of Tribal Membership. Para sa bayan, Lua Antonio, Philippine Information Agency.
I think, are we ready with the development plan, yung video? Can we have it?
Maybe we could entertain some questions.
Okay, Marisela Lily, TV5.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, next week will be the Eid al-Fitr. So aside from the food packs that you've distributed to some of the residents of Marawi, how do you plan to celebrate Ramadan?
Meron po kaming 3-day celebration ng Eid al-Fitr. And aside from the giving of relief goods and other support to the IDPs, meron din ho tayong ipamimigay na tulong para sa livelihood. For instance, yung pong binigay ng Department of Energy through the Task Force Bangon Marawi para po sa Marawi City, yung mga e-trikes, yun po ay magkakaroon din ho ng launching para ho tulong doon sa ating mga kababayan to resurrect their economic well-being because of the as a result of the siege ay talaga hong nagkaroon ng total collapse of the economic operations sa Marawi City.
I understand, sir, some of the mosques, particularly dun sa battle area, were destroyed because of the battle, because of the siege. So, ano yung mga possible venue or replacement na binigay natin dun sa mga residents para maging place of worship nila?
Marami po tayong mga masjid na hindi po not totally damaged, especially ho yung outside the ground zero. Marami po tayong mga mosque na maaaring doon magsimba to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr. And in fact, nag-establish din ho tayo ng dalawang masjid sa transitional shelters at yun po ay ngayon ay operational at doon ho nagkakandak ng ating prayers ang ating mga kapatid na Maranaos. So marami po mga masjid sa outside ground zero.
Sir, last na lang, may we request for a message with regards dun sa celebration ng Ramadan para dun sa mga kapatid natin sa Marawi?
Maraming salamat po. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa ating gobyerno sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa atin dito sa Marawi City at ako rin po ay nanawagan sa ating mga kababayan na ito pong buwan ng Ramadan at ang kanyang pagtatapos ay sana po ay isa puso natin at yung pong mga nangyari sa Marawi City ay maging malaking lesson sa atin at lahat ho ng hindi magandang nangyari o naranasan ng aking mga kababayan ay mapalitan po ng magandang pananaw sa buhay at dapat po we have to move forward, look forward and of course dapat po magkaisa ang ating mga kababayan, lalo na po ang aking mga kababayan ng mga Maranao nang sa ganon ay mapabangon namin muli ang Marawi City sa tulong ng ating gobyerno through the Task Force Bangon Marawi and of course our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
MPC question? Rosalie, have question?
Good morning po, sirs. Meron pa po ba tayong mga kababayan na naninirahan sa Tent City as of this moment? At kung meron po, ilan pa po?
Ang ating evacuation centers ngayon ay 37 in separate locations kung nakita natin kanina dun sa presentation. A total of 1,072 families na lamang yung nandun sa evacuation centers. At sa taong ito ay maililipat nating lahat ang mga naninirahan na IDPs from the evacuation centers to temporary shelters or permanent shelters as the case may be.
In relation to that, sir, ngayong officially declared na po ng Pag-asa yung pong start ng rainy season, how do we ensure or kailan natin sila maililipat sa mas okay na lugar para ma-ensure natin yung health nila?
Kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ang target ng Task Force Bangon Marawi ay mailipat lahat ang mga naninirahan na IDP sa evacuation centers ngayong 2018.
Kailangan po ba nating magdagdag ng mga medical personnel, paigtingin yung health services para po maiwasan ng pagkakasakit ngayon pong umpisa na ng tag-ulan?
Patuloy naman ang pakikipag-ugnayan ng Task Force Bangon Marawi sa mga agency, lalo na ng Department of Health at DSWD.
Actually, to add to that statement, initially we have 5,900 families and we were able to manage. Now we only have 1,072 families, so we can adequately manage the needs of the IDPs in the evacuation centers. So the more that we can provide the adequate assistance.
Yes, Yusek Falconi, Millar, may video ba tayo?
Yes, ipakita muna natin yung video tungkol dun sa development ng most affected area as instructed by Chairman Rosario, because this might answer your questions, and this is the first time that we will be releasing this to the media.
Okay, video please.
Restore, revive, rebuild. The Task Force Bangon Marawi intends to rebuild the crumbled walls and pillars of Marawi City and restore it to its former self and even better. Our commitment is to make Marawi a safe, livable place once again, with a thriving and sustainable economy while preserving its rich Islamic culture. The master plan consists of key facilities and landmarks that will create new history and heroes in the years to come. The Task Force Bangon Marawi takes pride to construct wider road networks with underground utilities for water, power, and telecommunication. One of the key developments of this project is the full implementation of underground installation of public utilities, similar to the design of Bonifacio Global City in Taguig. Grand Padian Market capitalizes on their affinity towards marketplace trade, creating a successful hub for commerce that unites the communities of Marawi through exchange of goods. With its total area of 10,000 square meters and 20,000 square meters of parking space, the Grand Padian Market showcased the Maranawan identity through its culture and design. Promoting Marawi's tourism industry necessitates the construction of a convention center that can host 1,500 delegates of meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions, or MICE. MICE is a fast-growing segment that contributes to about 1% of the world's GDP, to be located at the old reclamation area along shores of Lanao Lake. This structure shall have a main hall of 1,000 seating capacity and breakaway function rooms, good for 500 people. A central transport terminal ensures the efficient and smooth cyclical transfer of goods between economic centers. Uninterrupted and smooth flow of goods in the city means more income for the businesses and the people. The proposal for the establishment of the facility in Marawi includes the addition of numerous commercial stalls to catalyze economic activity in the area. Ports and wharves within Lanao Lake stimulate the development of a community and its neighbors through easy exchange of goods and tourism. Parks such as this promotes physical and psychological well-being while providing visitors with attractive recreational areas. It offers the opportunity to showcase the arts and culture of the Maranawan tradition to the people of Marawi and to tourists. Gumisa Avenue will be transformed into a pedestrian street to create commercial center like the ones in Myeongdong, South Korea. Gumisa Avenue is supposed to be an active public space with both retail and food and beverage establishments where residents and visitors of Marawi can spend time together. Showcase the rich culture of Maranao through the School of Living Traditions. The rich and vast Maranao culture can be preserved and celebrated through the establishment of this school. The city's history should never be forgotten. To commemorate the stories of the people and the heroes of Marawi, the task force will undertake the preservation of the two historical sites in the city with the guidance of the National Commission for Culture and Arts and the local government of Marawi. The construction of protective facilities are essential to the safety and security of the citizens of Marawi and will help sustain the peace and socio-economic development that its people deserve. One of the most important part of the master plan is the construction of 16 two-story elementary and high school buildings with a total number of 320 classrooms. To address concern on scarcity of public lands, these shall be merged in 3 locations such as Dansalan, Ginaro, and Datu Ali Sangkopan as identified by the Department of Education. One of the urgent priorities is the construction of 24 barangay complex for each of the barangays. This aims to restore local governance to foster peace, order, and normalcy in the city. By providing an effective means of depositing personal vehicles through sufficient accommodation and systemic layout, the citizens will reduce the amount of time spent idle, decreasing the pollution caused by vehicular emissions. This parking building will benefit the residents by increasing their productivity rate and accelerating Marawi City's economic development. Establishment of well-equipped medical facilities and institutions provide a sense of social equality and dignity to the community. To promote public health and improve productivity, a tertiary 100-bed hospital with equipment is set to rise within the ICOM site. Aside from providing employment, the hospital can significantly impact the community members' physical and mental health, especially after the traumatic situation that they have encountered. Recognizing the central role of Lake Lanao to Marawi and its people, one of the master plan's emphasis is to protect and harness its beauty while reconnecting the city's residents with this neglected natural asset. This nature's gift can be the source of economic resurgence in the city. Lake Promenade shall be developed along the sides of the new reclamation area to create a vibrant community that bustles with commercial establishments and tourist attractions. The lake and the riverside promenade will be the gateway of the city to economic growth and regular tourist flow. The Task Force Bangon Marawi believes that the community's level of sanitation greatly affects sustainability, social well-being, public health, and productivity of the people. DENR Administrative Order 2016-08 compliant. Sewage treatment plants are included in the master plan to protect the environment and ensure clean water sources for the residents of the city. To complement the STP, the task force envisioned to construct and develop a 10-hectare sanitary landfill to be located outside the most affected area. Hand in hand, we will restore the lives of families broken by armed conflict. Hand in hand, we will revive the spirit of individuals who are starting to dream again. Hand in hand, we will rebuild shattered walls and pulverized fields from scratch. This is our aim. This is Task Force Bangon Marawi.
Kristiyano at Muslim, hindi ba't iisa? Binalang tayo ni Allah na iisang Ama. Kung bubuksan ang puso ng bawat isa, sa mundo ang maghahari ay ngiti at saya.
I will see to it that Marawi will rise as a prosperous city again.
Secretary Del Rosario?
Yan ang concept natin para ma-develop ang Marawi City, and that will be undertaken in the most affected area.
Question, RJ? Microphone, please.
Sir, may update na ba dun sa Swiss Challenge?
As of today, as finishing touches na yung ongoing negotiation with Bagong Marawi Consortium. And if there will be a successful negotiation that would be declared by Monday, then on Tuesday, the Swiss Challenge will start.
May target date tayo sa groundbreaking, sir?
First week of July will be the groundbreaking.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so question muna from Tina Mendez, sir. Pinatatanong niya kung magkano daw po yung total amount and breakdown of grants and official development assistance pledges from foreign countries for Marawi Rehab.
At the moment, wala pa tayong pledges. Magkakaroon tayo ng pledging session. The Department of Finance will schedule a pledging session with development partners or other countries. The estimated cost of the rehabilitation as of today is more or less 16 billion.
Okay. Rosalie cost?
Sir, regarding po dun sa video na present nyo po, nakita na po ng Pangulo?
That will be shown during the cabinet meeting on Monday. We just like to take this opportunity to show it to the public that we are following the instruction of the President that Marawi City will rise again as a prosperous city.
Sir, how do we address concerns na although na-report nyo po na merong about more than 100 consultations na ginagawa, may mga ilan pong mga stakeholder or mga residents na natakot daw po magpahayag ng kanilang mga saloobin tungkol po sa rehabilitation efforts na ginagawa ng pamahalaan sa takot na mapagbintangan sila na mga supporter or mga terrorist?
Well, wala naman tayong nakukuhang ganung information. What is important, that during our consultation, majority, maybe more than 90% of the populace are very supportive of our development plan. Of course, we could not satisfy all. There are still some individuals criticizing the plan, but getting the support of more than 90% is good enough for us.
Okay. Regarding naman po dun sa military camp, tama po ba sa center ng Islamic City balak na itayo?
Another fake news, actually, that is outside MAA, as a periphery lang to secure MAA, most especially during the rehabilitation phase.
Sa tingin niyo po ba may concern dapat yung pong mga kababayan natin doon na po pwedeng magkaroon daw po ng, nag-worry sila magkaroon ng impact sa culture at sa religion ng mga residents?
I don't think so. Dahil ang ating mga kasundaluhan, very professional. They are observing the culture on the ground. Meron tayong brigade headquarters that has been there for maybe 3-4 decades. At itong ilalagay nating unit, anak lang ng brigade na yun. Hindi ito big deal on the part of the military. It's just transforming the locations of the military troops to ensure that on a 24-hour basis, we can protect the whole Marawi City.
Doon po sa master rehab plan po, ilang taon po yun para lahat ng infra, mga structures na binabalak po?
It will be completed not later than the last quarter of 2021. So more or less 3 years.
Okay, RJ?
Sir, curious lang po, bakit po pabago-bago yung mga petsa, target date natin, yung sa Swiss Challenge?
Well, we do not like to rush things, yun ang ganda ng ginagawa natin na hindi natin masyadong nirarush dahil otherwise, hindi natin makikita ng maganda yung specifications or quality ng gagawin ng mga infrastructures. And then, the project cost component. Madugo ang aming ginagawang negotiation. We do not like na ma-compromise ang quality as well as the cost. Kailangan balancing act yan. If this is the quality that we want, what is the appropriate project cost that will be applied to that particular infra? Siyempre, negotiation ito, always the developers would ask for a high amount of project cost. But we requested some resource persons. We engage them per project, per building, so that we can ensure that we get the right quality and the right price.
So by Monday po, target po natin magsisimula yung Swiss Challenge, tama?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tapos, first week of July, groundbreaking.
Yes.
Final na po ba yan?
Sa akin, masabi natin 90-95% final.
95%.
Everything is fluid. We are working on a timetable. And I think this first week timetable, maybe July 5 or July 6, will be 90-95% accurate.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, questions? Last question na tayo. Rosalie.
Sir, nabanggit niyo po madugo yung pakikipag-negotiation, ano po, pagdating po dun sa presyo ng pong mga structures. May epekto ba yung inflation?
Definitely, everything was factored in. And that's why we have to really negotiate and find out everything, take the views of the developers, take the views of our resource persons, and come up with a win-win solution or agreement, compromise, so that at the end of the day, the developers are happy, the government panels are happy, because we got the right price with a good quality of work.
Okay, thank you. Okay na. Thank you. Secretary De Rosario, you have a message?
I am very grateful for the support of the Maranals, the Marawi City residents headed by Mayor Majul Gandamra and the province of Lanao del Sur. I know that at the start, last March and onward, we had undertaken massive consultations. We presented this development plan to the populace, and once it was cleared to majority of them, they appreciated so much the efforts being undertaken by Task Force Bangon Marawi in rebuilding the city. Ang sinasabi nga natin palagi on the ground, let's make this unfortunate incident to be a blessing in the sense that we can start the right way and come up with a very peaceful environment in Marawi City. Because at the end of the day, all these infrastructures will be for nothing if we will not attain a very peaceful environment in Marawi City and the whole province of Lanao del Sur.
Okay, thank you, Secretary Del Rosario. Thank you, Yusek Millar. Thank you, Mayor Gandamra. And thank you, Colonel Antonio Francisco. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.